Tony, that's enough. Let go.
Oh, Welcome back, Super Friends and Super Family. I am Thor, your friendly neighborhood god of thunder. Today I'm reacting to Steven Spielberg's West Side Story. So yes, it's that time of the week. Another Steven Spielberg movie. I'm looking forward to this one for a number of reasons. I have never seen the original West Side Story. I know that it's a very famous, iconic musical movie, and I'm pretty certain that West Side Story is kind of just a retelling of the Romeo and Juliet story. So if that's true, then I kind of know the basic beats. I've read Romeo and Juliet, studied that one in high school. So tragic lovers from different families. I'm assuming everyone will commit suicide at the end. I'm not a big musical person, so there's tons and tons of musicals I have not seen. There's actually several I would love to react to. I recently reacted to the first High School Musical with my friend Lexi, if you haven't seen that reaction. But other things like Greatest Showman, never seen that. Just in general as a genre, musicals are one where I am almost completely lacking as far as just exposure and an education. I've seen a couple, but not too many. But for this movie, to see Spielberg, I remember, like I said, I remember seeing the trailer for this, and as someone going into it not super hyped for a musical, just visually, I remember being immediately arrested and intrigued. And I just thought it would be, as something that's so recent for Spielberg, one of the things I admire about him, as I'm, add it to the list of many things, having watched so many of Spielberg movies recently, there's so much to love about his talent. But one of the things I've always admired about him is that, he's an older man. I don't know exactly how old, but he's still working to this day. He's still making movies. This movie just came out last year. I mean, no one could blame the guy if he just was on a golf course somewhere. I'm sure he's richer than God, and just retired. Like, he has a amazingly impressive body of work. He's respected by pretty much everyone in the film industry. But here he is, out here working, putting his name out there, putting his reputation at risk every time, because I think there's a risk. It's like being a comic. Like, every time you go up as a comic, you can bomb and people can say you're not funny. There's a little bit of an inherent risk. As a director, you're only as good as your last movie. And I'm sure there's a whole generation of people, myself as a perfect example with how few of Spielberg's movies I've actually seen, who maybe the name Steven Spielberg, but if you go and see a more contemporary movie, and if it's a letdown, your association with that legendary director is like, not so good. So anyways, I'm excited to watch a more recent Spielberg movie, now that I've seen a lot of the older classics. I don't know, to see maybe if his craftsmanship and his style has developed, to see him utilize the top of the line technology, and just to check out West Side Story. As an aside, like, if you want me to watch the original West Side Story, let me know. I personally was just interested in seeing this one first because, like I said, I've been doing a bunch of Spielberg reactions. I'm such a fan of his directing style, and I've heard good things about this movie. I know it underperformed at the box office, but just figured it'd be worth checking out for my own personal interest. But as always, if you want to watch the full unedited reactions to all my movies, are up on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who supports so generously there. Let's get into today's reaction. West Side Story. Oh, what I do know about this movie, there's a famous song. I've heard people, I think it's from the original, where there's I don't know, that's from West Side Story, right? I'm guessing, like I said at the beginning, I don't know any of the music from West Side Story. I'm guessing the music for this remake here is going to be the same, or at least similar. I mean, I'm already a fan of this first camera. I mean, how do you move the camera across like that and then have this object so close? Just beautiful. Definitely giving me Baby Driver vibes. I mean, here we go with the snapping of the fingers in the opening song. I don't think that's the Juliet of the story. That's the Marilyn Monroe of the story. Yeah, forget working. We're here to cause trouble. Oh, dang, he can't even wait to light her cigarette. They really are in a hurry. A nice way to clearly show them crossing into a different neighborhood. No expositional dialogue necessary. And the weight of that moment was really made clear. Oh, I know that actor. Isn't he from Fantastic Beasts? We're gonna have a full-on fight? As long as nobody has a gun. That's one way to lose a tail. Climb that fence! Go, go, go! Oh dang, they caught him. How considerate. It's like, we're gonna take care of you before we beat you up. These are the two gang leaders right here. We're gonna have a boss fight.
Down to the bedrock, and you're in the way.
Jeez, I felt that. Good sound design.
Where are they?
Yeah, the man with the gun has the real power.
I'll book the whole bunch of you. Keep up the serenade and see what...
But you gotta arrest them for singing? Come on.
The last of the can't make it Caucasians.
They can't make it Caucasians.
Ride with me.
As long as I know you, Riff, you ain't had the sense God gave a pigeon.
Kind of a savage parting roast right there.
When you're a jet, if the spit hits the fan, you got
If the spit hits the fan.
you stay up.
And I guess you jaywalk apparently too. One of the main privileges. Nice transition.
It's good that you keep in the company, really. It's cool. Don't get all...
Ah, maybe that's part of the reason he's angry. You took his girl.
That kid? What I almost done?
You gotta get over that. What is the...
No, don't get over it. Learn your lesson.
But I gotta stay with myself.
Yeah, don't give in to the peer pressure, even though I'm assuming you do eventually.
I don't know who I am, and who cares who I am? Nobody, including me.
That's kind of a hilarious line.
Think familiar. We just got this instinct to, you know...
Yeah, it's ignorance. It's probably generational ignorance, you know.
Keep looking for better, mi milagro. Like you always done.
And she really cares for him too. Like, she is gonna be a good influence on his life, but I think he's gonna cave to help out his jets, you know. It's tough to leave the homies.
And something great is coming.
I mean, something great is coming, but also something very tragic, at least I think. I mean, that's gotta be Juliet right here, right? Ah, nice little touch of color to the outfit. Perfect.
You are a kid, kiddo. Well, I'm 18. I have a job. I've been taking care of Papi since I was 6.
Okay, so a little bit older than the original Romeo and Juliet, right? Aren't they really young in the original story?
Everyone's afraid of him, but I'm not.
Anita, we're home.
I like how it's just not afraid, and then they both like turn so quickly. Come on.
Come on. I know how to dance. She's bossy. She's gonna show you how.
She'll give you the direction, bro.
Stupid. We gotta do it, but it's stupid. Maria can't like it.
That's some self-awareness from Bernardo. Like, he realizes he wants to keep his friend out of that life.
What else are you learning about?
Adding machine repair?
And just think.
She's like, sounds so boring. A little bit awkward for their first moments alone. Poor dude looks terrified. Little bit of tension here at the dance, you guys. They've got some moves. Are we gonna have a dance battle? Love the camera work of the sequence. That takes some serious, like, choreography and coordination for them not to cut and move that many extras and dancers.
Contain the aggression, okay?
He said unironically as he screams aggressively.
Give it some hope, just for a little bit, then you can revert back to your true feral self.
Okay, I like this guy. He's funny.
That's all right.
He's like, I'm way too scared. I was already scared to dance because I didn't know how to dance, let alone the competitive gang rival dancing.
Come on, give it a chance.
Of course no one listens. Of course. Of course he made it. Of course he did. I like how there's like contrasting colors with the two groups too, like the lighter blues and the more fiery yellows and reds. It just visually looks so cool. Oh dang, but why isn't he going with her? Why are you going off on your own, bro? I mean, good for you, Chino. I like Chino. And he saw her across the room. Oh my gosh, the lighting of this entire scene is just insanely good. And how romantic, they both walk across the crowds like to a quieter area.
It's just your...
You're tall.
So that's why she decided to dance with him. It's like, can't dance with the other side, but if he's tall enough, it's okay.
Sorry.
Dang!
Caught me by surprise as well.
Caught me by surprise too. Oh, of course, interrupted.
Sí, estoy bien. ¿Y Anita?
Oh, busted! I thought they were gonna keep it secret.
What were you doing under there with my sister?
No,
Maria.
no me hizo nada.
Oh, look, of course, now he's under the red lighting. That's so perfect. That's such subtle visual storytelling.
True to what?
Like I know. Like he tells me.
Maria.
Poor Chino. Poor Chino.
Do you want to start World War III?
Tony, come on.
He's like, sorry, just got a little bit distracted by this girl I'm crazy in love with. I mean, you always see the classic teal and orange color palettes in movies, but the purple and blue is really cool.
You sharks make like the rats in Skedaddle.
Where?
Is it like a real fight, like guns and stuff, or just like a boxing match? Hopefully boxing.
Weapons.
Fists.
Rocks.
Come on, fists is way better than rocks. That was a meaningful handshake. I hope they're going to honor the rules here.
Never be the same to me, Maria.
The janitor's like, okay. Isn't it so like cool when someone's that much in love? They just have that energy. They're like running and just expressing that feeling, you know? She's like, I was trying to sleep. Oh, did she hear? Did she hear? He didn't know where she lived, but she heard all of that, I think.
Yeah, but so long as you like me, I'm okay with that.
It's like I can live with some angry in-laws, that's okay. He's like, I can dance and do some pull-ups, okay? I'm tall. Wearing nice clothes. Are you in love yet? It sucks 'cause I like the, I like the main character so much. It sucks this is a Romeo and Juliet story. I know it's gonna end badly.
Nobody else. Only me.
What if she's forced to go on a date with Chino? I like how the beginning of the song was literally him just saying goodbye, but then they come back. Like, that's so accurate to what it's like when you're in love. Like, you try to leave, but you're like, oh, I'll come right back. I can't even leave for the night. I really love that line. The world was just an address. Okay, they actually get their kiss. No interruption. I was wondering if that was going to happen. Oh, spoke too soon. There's the interruption. That's almost more romantic than an I love you, right? I mean, is there any greater feeling than like that immediate infatuation and love? That's got to be one of the best human experiences out there. Did you get much sleep last night? I mean, do you even need sleep when you're that much in love? Not really. How hard was this to time this all to the music? Oh, they probably scored the scene afterwards, but that's still pretty impressive. Good. The attention to detail is appreciated. You're a smart teenager.
Good morning.
They're like, we don't care.
In Puerto Rico, our kids won't get fat like the kids in New York.
Oh, I've heard this song. Okay, okay. I didn't know this was from this movie. The pros and cons.
I think I go back to San Juan.
I know about you can get on.
Like, you won't be missed, bro. I mean, look at this. You turn an argument about where to live into, like, this whole neighborhood dance party. This is great.
I want to be with you forever.
You don't want to start maybe with, I like to take you out to coffee.
Come on.
I was thinking the same thing, but...
For a cream cheese sandwich.
They're fishing is all. Asking questions, which we ain't answering.
Yeah, tell them you need to talk to Saul Goodman, okay?
Or I'm gonna send you straight to the tombs.
I don't know where the rumble is. I don't even know what a rumble is.
I don't know what a rumble is either. I mean, probably a fight. Oh, jeez!
It's just our bringing up key that gets us out of hand. Our mothers all our junkies.
Our fathers all are drunks.
I mean, there's probably some truth in what they're saying, even though, you know, they're being sarcastic and mocking with interrogation.
You're really a slob. This boy don't need a doctor, just a good honest job. Society's played him.
It's so accurate to, like, adolescents, like, making a mockery of the whole system like this, but I also like that there's some real irony, because what they're actually talking about, like, why they misbehave and break the law, is probably connected to the reasons they're making fun of, you know? He's gonna snap. He's gonna lose it. Krupke has had enough. Or he just gives up and lets them go, I guess.
Para amarte y respetarte. To love you and respect you.
I mean, is this a real, like, marriage wedding for them? You guys really have to sing your wedding vows? Bunch of show-offs. No, just kidding. I think you're right. Death will part you now.
I swear to you, Maria, there won't be any fight.
Can you keep that promise, dude? I don't think you can.
It's 15 years in Attica. Call it off.
Call what off?
Tell Bernardo.
The cops found out.
Zero chance he's gonna listen to you.
We call it off. We got a gun. Shut up, Tiger. Stay out of this.
You know we wouldn't even need a gun if you was with us.
Don't, careful arguing with the gun. Don't accidentally shoot somebody, please.
Does it look to you like this is his gun? All right, let's get some beer and some weed and let's go to the zoo.
Yeah, that's a much better idea. Beer and weed and the zoo is 100 times better than getting killed in a street fight. Come on.
Crazy boy, get cool, boy. Got a rocket in your...
I feel like the cool there could have a double meaning, like cool, like calm down, and also cool, like it's not cool to be like this. This looks like such a practical set, but there's no way they were dancing like that close to like those holes in the floorboards. Dang it! Dang it! You should have won that dance fight. This is gonna be a fateful moment. I know this is a musical, so things aren't, you know, literally happening the way in another movie, you know, during a dance number, but the gun safety violations are just unimaginable here. Prayers won't be enough. It won't be enough to save them. The mixing of the singing of like their love song and the song for war is just perfect. Okay, come on. How amazing is this shot and the shadows? How amazing is that? Oh, you don't even want to be here for this. This is bad news to be present during all of these crimes. Wait, why are they working together? I don't get it. Do they both want to bring peace? Him and Chino? I mean, I know Chino was cool.
And if somehow or other, if I offended you, I apologize.
It's a good try, but it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work.
How about I get myself a brown girl?
Don't fight, don't hit back.
I never been before.
Be the bigger man, don't punch back. Come on. I mean, how tough is that gotta be with someone punching you in the face? I mean, it's a little bit unfair since he's fighting a boxer. Like, obviously the boxer is gonna win. I'm worried the gun's gonna fall out during the fight, though. They're gonna think he's trying to kill him. Dang, I can't believe he's winning against Bernardo. Who threw that? Oh, that was such a big mistake.
That's Tony, Tony, that's enough. Let go!
Oh, sh**. And now the cops are coming. I forgot that that's what happened to Romeo and Juliet. I remember, I think it's Mercutio is the friend who gets killed, but I forgot, and maybe they changed it. I forgot that Romeo killed someone too. A little late, you guys, a little late. How is Maria gonna react when she realizes that he's the one who killed Bernardo, though?
Now get down.
She's dreaming about her boyfriend.
Yes, she is.
Chino, see, she's in love.
No, not Gino. The other one, the gringo boy.
My fancy rich lady apartment. I feel pretty. Oh, so pretty.
Oh, I've heard this song. I heard this song in what's the Adam Sandler, Jack Nicholson movie?
Maria.
Got some bad news.
And Riff, he goes stab
And Bernardo. I mean, he did. But he was really trying to stop everything, man. That's what's so sad. She's like, I don't care about that dude. I feel bad for Riff, though. He seemed like such a misguided kid, you know? And she was, you know, she loved Tony. She, like, took care of him and was looking out for his future. I don't blame you for drinking, if there's ever a time. I mean, this song I feel like is an expression of her thoughts and her hopes, but even more than that, I feel like it's an expression, like a prayer, you know?
Vente a la cama.
Not exactly the ideal way to spend your wedding night, you know, post-murder of the bride's brother. Just throwing that out there.
You will.
You better hurry, because she will not hesitate to kill you. I feel so bad for her too, man. And she was trying to stop Bernardo, and I mean, that's why it's a tragedy, right?
¿Puedo entrar? Sí, I'm almost. I'll come out in it.
That's a risky kiss. Hurry it up. Oh, wow. Was the goodbye kiss worth it getting caught, Maria, Tony? How do you explain that, honestly? I'm surprised she didn't slap harder than that, honestly. There's some savage sarcasm there. I mean, props to Anita, honestly, for being so patient after, you know, Bernardo, her spouse, got killed. It's amazing, like, how much acting can be performed during a song, if that makes sense. You know, like, you're focused on singing and sounding good, but to make it a movie experience, you really need to feel the acting of that moment, which they're doing so well in this scene.
And no one will ever forgive him.
But the fact that you can possibly forgive him, at least for Maria's sake, is crazy.
Bernardo was a fool.
Dang, I'm surprised Chino is saying that.
Too far.
Those nobodies can take your pride away from you. Tú eres más estúpido que Bernardo.
I mean, I agree.
Don't you do what Bernardo did. You kill a gringo, they kill you.
Exactly. Come on, man.
Sooner or later, the gringos kill everything.
Dang, for a second there I thought Chino was being smart, realizing that what Bernardo did was foolish, but I guess not. But he loved Bernardo. Can you blame him? Can you blame him for being out for revenge?
For this white stranger who she danced with, who we think killed your boyfriend.
I love how she does the sewing machine, like just drowning him out.
So, let's start from the beginning.
He's like, now that I got the superficial empathy out of the way, let's get to what I really want.
What's Tony gonna do?
Go pop yourself, you blister.
Oh my gosh, this guy is such a jerk.
You done good, buddy boy.
I'm really good. Come on, it's about time you guys accept him.
Valentina, es Anita. ¿Puedes subir? Por favor, que te...
I mean, the courage it must take to walk in there.
Bernardo's black pig.
Jeez. And this is what happens when she's actually trying to help one of their guys, Tony, by warning him.
He shot her. Maria is dead.
Oh, so this is what happens. This, instead of the fake suicide in Romeo and Juliet, at least from what I remember, this is why. And that's what sucks, is that she was actually going to be helping Maria out. It was such a big moment for her. But instead, because the Jets, you know, attack her, she makes up this lie.
Sonner, you were dead.
And they know she's absolutely right.
Ever say that, Tony? Life matters even more than love.
Does it, though? Does Helen of Troy agree?
She's dead.
Oh, gosh. That was such a great reaction there. That cannot be an easy thing to act. And now he's out for revenge. Were you thinking this through, Anita, what this would cause?
Right here. Gino!
I love these wide shots, like showing the emptiness, but also like all the evictions and the destruction of all these buildings, you know, chasing them all away from their homes. Oh, come on. Shooting him in from behind like that? I mean, he doesn't even care that he's shot. He's just so happy to see her and that she came. Talk about a sudden death. It feels so harsh and real, you know? And she's never gonna forgive Chino for doing that, obviously, you know. And I bet Chino, after having gotten revenge, like, feels how empty, and that brings zero comfort.
I can kill now because I hate now.
What a meaningful line. I thought she was gonna kill herself. I thought this, like Romeo and Juliet, they were both gonna die. But I guess not. I wonder if the original West Side Story was like this too. I mean, even that final shot with the camera, like, it was just a beautiful shot with the camera, like, moving up as we see them all walking away and the police arrive. I almost take there being some meaningful placement. Like, we see the balcony, which of course reminds us of the love that they had. Something so beautiful and pure. And then you contrast it with what hate and anger and bigotry will do, you know, by seeing obviously the tragic scene in the distance of that shot. All right, so that is West Side Story, at least Steven Spielberg's remake of the original West Side Story. I really like that movie. It was very, very good. I mean, my favorite aspect by far is just the visuals. I nerded out about it just pretty much nonstop throughout the whole reaction, so I'm sure most people know that, but the cinematography was so impressive. It's up there with some of my favorite uses of color that I've seen in a movie. I mean, just every single shot, every frame was gorgeous and beautiful to look at. I think that the dancing and the choreography was just very sharp throughout, and the set pieces were incredible, and the lighting added like a perfect magicalness. You know, it was very colorized and not like super realistic, which I think is perfect for the tone of a musical, which of course is, you know, breaks through the realism barrier every time someone, you know, starts singing, right? Like, it's obviously, you know, a dramatized, exaggerated version of reality. I mean, most movies are, but I think even more so when you have like characters singing their thoughts and emotions and the themes going on. But I think visually it's just so perfect to have that super rich, you know, color coordinated, you know, the fact that like the sides are color coordinated, you know, that is a hyper realism, a symbolic reality that just fits so perfectly with this story. The blocking I thought was really good, like throughout the singing, you know, I think it's just kind of an overlooked thing, but just to keep the movement fresh. Like, if you're watching a musical on stage, there's just one angle. You're sitting in the audience watching, and a lot of times there's some cool choreography going on, but to do it as a film, like a musical, I think that there was just a lot of very like organic movement of the characters, and the blocking that Spielberg is just so good at, of like where the characters need to move, when they need to circle around so that now their face is like close in with the camera. I'm not the best at like breaking down all the technical terms, but it was just very, very impressive from a filmmaking perspective. And then the story itself, you know, I was really surprised with how engaging the entire story was. I'm not the biggest musical person, and like I said, I haven't really explored a lot of the genre, but the songs were good, and, you know, even like they were catchy and it worked. I wasn't sure how like a lot of the older music would work in like this movie that just came out very recently, but it really did work, and some of the lyrics were like, you know, it was fun, but like there's some meaningful lyrics and songs going on, and despite, you know, how kind of, I don't know exactly how to describe the music. It's not like an operatic, serious, emotional, tragic music. It's more like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's more upbeat and lighthearted, but they still are able to like handle some heavy, serious, tragic themes, despite the fact that the soundtrack isn't so obviously that. I know so little about music and musicals and all the correct terms for whatever that entails. But I was just very impressed. And the performances, man, there were some solid performances in this film. That was another thing that really impressed me. My two favorite performances of the whole film were the actress who played Maria, or Juliet, Maria. She was so good. I don't know who she is. She's got to be a breakout star. I don't know if she's been in anything else, but she was incredible in this movie. I mean, her singing was beautiful, possibly the best in the whole film, in my opinion. But her actual acting, like, she was incredible. She was so good. And I also really liked Riff, right? That was the name of the kind of like leader of the Jets. That actor was so good. I mean, he had such a unique look to him that I think was perfect for the 50s time period. I don't even know exactly why it was just so perfect, but he just looked perfect. But more than that, there was so much in his performance. I mean, I really felt bad for his character, even though, he was not a good person, but I just, like, they had that song when all the Jets were arrested, and they were obviously singing it ironically and making fun of it the way, younger people often do, teenagers often do. But like I said, I think there's a lot of truth to it. I'm sure that, Tony recognized that, Riff had such a hard life, and that down beneath there was the potential for him to be a much better person, to live a very different life. And, the moments where he was killed, like, the acting he had on his face was so good. There was so much, like, sadness. And I also really love about Riff, like, even though he was the tough guy leading the Jets, there was a nice balance. He really captured I'm going to do my best to describe what this is, but I think a lot of times, especially with younger people trying to prove that they're tough, they go a little bit overboard, and they really want to show that they're not just acting tough, that they really are tough, but of course it's all an act. It's kind of like, I'm not describing it that well, it's kind of like when Tywin Lannister, this is a random Game of Thrones reference, but when Tywin Lannister is talking to Jaime Lannister in their opening scene together, it's a great opening scene, by the way. But the first time you see Tywin talking to Jaime, and Jaime Lannister is like, says, "I don't care what people think about me," and Tywin's like, "You want people to not think that you care about what they think, but you still care about what they think." Even that line I'm butchering. But, I think a lot of times with, like, younger people in a tough crowd, you're always trying to prove yourself and, be legitimately a tough guy, right? And I think that the actor of Riff did such a good job of portraying a person trying to do that. But then at a few times, like during the knife fight, in the moments right before he died, you saw the real youthful fear, and how, despite how hard he was trying to be this tough gangster character, deep down he's just this kid. And I don't know, that just added so much of the tragedy of the whole situation. And, it's the timeless Romeo and Juliet story. Obviously, some changes. Juliet lives here at the end, which I'm assuming is faithful to the original West Side Story, and that's fine. It's an adaptation of the story. Things are going to change. But that speech at the end that Maria gave was so powerful, too. Her saying, like, how, now she can hate. And that, she didn't go through with it and kill people, luckily, or kill herself, but that's what she wanted. And she understood that in that severe of a pain, losing someone that you love so deeply because of just this generational anger and this bias and bigotry and just, all these things that, stem from ignorance and fear that cause people to fight and hate and ostracize others, But I don't know, but this has got to be some of Spielberg's best directing. I really was so impressed with what he did. Clearly, was very passionate about the material and some of the themes. And I don't know, I'm just surprised how engaged I was in this movie. I didn't have that many expectations. I was excited to see Spielberg's directing, but it was really impressive in a lot of ways, and so much to learn from cinematography in this movie. So much to learn. Very, very impressive. But thank you to everyone for watching along. Would you like me to watch the original West Side Story? I was debating doing that. I kind of just, as a Spielberg fan, I really just wanted to see his version. But is the original worth watching? And are there any other musicals? Is that a genre you're interested in? Like, I know there's some big ones like Greatest Showman that I've never seen. I got some comments previously about that one. But are there any musicals you would like me to do? And is that a genre you are interested in? But thank you to everyone who supports there. And as always, remember, be active, be mindful, and be a hero.